Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, September 19th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We have great television archives at the top of the page, our eye candy right below, rock and roll poll question in the corner. But before we go any further, I want to thank my friend Mary, old friend of mine from Buffalo, not that old, who watches in southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, right in there. And she's concerned about some of the stuff on my face. See, I don't wear any makeup when I do these video blogs, but I go on Channel 5 or something like that, you wear a little makeup, because if you don't, you'll look just ghastly. But I'm not going to put on makeup just to do this thing. This is just us talking, so, I'm just sitting here in a pair of shorts, whatever. But yeah, all the facial imperfections and everything just sort of shows up with these high-definition cameras. I got a little sun damage and some freckles that have gone crazy and just stuff like that, but I'm okay. I didn't go in the sun at all the last couple of years. I used to go out and get a nice suntan, sunburn, whatever, and I don't do it anymore. No point in looking older than you need to be, and I just think sun damage, now I know, is one of the worst things you can do, especially if you're fair-skinned like old JC, where you try to get a little red on the skin just to offset the blue. You know what I'm talking about? But thank you, Mary. Thank you for watching out for me. She is a nurse, so she knows what she's talking about. She spots things like that. And those nurses, by the way, were fun. I went, there was a huge nursing school at my college, Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois, and the nurses were, they would just study their asses off. They were bookworms. And then, after they would take their test, they would party for like 3 straight days. Those nurses were fun. I still remember it from my college days. And Mary, thank you. You're no exception. All right, here's our rock and roll poll question from Friday, and I have to tell you, this is one of those ones I'm going to argue with you about. All right, here we go. Which natural phenomenon do you think is worst? Okay, tornadoes in the Midwest, drought in the Plain States, hurricanes and flooding in the eastern seaboard, earthquakes in California, or lake effect squalls of snow where you can get like 2, 3, 4 feet of snow just in a couple of hours up in the Great Lakes. You can become immobilized by a snow squall, and traffic conditions and schools can close and all that, but you'll survive. So that's good. It's good that that's down near the bottom. Earthquakes in California, they scare the bejesus out of me, but probably, relatively speaking, down near the bottom. Drought was our number 2 answer at 17%. The thing that throws me off is that 54% of you said that tornadoes are worse, and only 16% said hurricanes. I am much more afraid of hurricanes. I mean, just think about it. A tornado, or a series of tornadoes, your mathematical chances of being struck, being injured by a tornado are so minuscule, it's not even funny. Now, they are big, sensational things, and when they do hit, whatever they hit, they cause destruction and devastation and death and all that sort of stuff. But relatively speaking, you're so unlikely to be affected by the effects of a tornado. And it's over and done with quickly, generally speaking, and again, you've got very little chance of being hit. With a hurricane, which I think should be at the top of the list, these things are massive, and they're coming, and they just cause tornado force winds, but sustained winds for hours and hours and hours, and then you get the storm surge on top of it, and then there's flooding on top of that, and it's widespread destruction and devastation, much worse than one stinking tornado. The thing that drives people crazy is because you have so much low pressure when a hurricane comes on land that a lot of times you have tornadoes in the middle of a hurricane. That's adding insult to injury. So I think your answer is wrong here, but it's your answer, and that's the way we play it around here. All right. We had a situation yesterday. These motorcyclists, they do this thing where it's a very well-kept secret all year long. They pick out one location one time a year, and they have this thing called the Ride of the Century. And all these motorcycle guys, particularly the ones driving Japanese motorcycles, and particularly the guys who like to take stupid chances, hundreds and hundreds, sometimes even thousands of them congregate on one place. It's not released until the very last second because they're trying to get around the police. And as was the case yesterday, they tied up traffic on 270 and 40 with hundreds of participants, and on top of that, doing dangerous stunts, weaving through traffic, antagonizing drivers. But I think everybody probably agrees that that is not necessarily representative of the motorcycling community as a whole. That having been said, in general, what do you think of everyday motorcyclists? A, I'm fine with the majority of them. B, I'm getting annoyed with what seems like an increasing number of idiots on motorcycles. Or C, I think the majority of them are half nuts. That's your rock and roll poll question. A lot of passion always attached to the motorcycle and cyclist issues. All right, we had the Emmy Awards last night. Modern Family, the big winner, Jane Lynch. I guess she was okay. I'm mystified by people this morning who are saying she's getting rave reviews. I can't think of one thing she did that caused me to rave. But I guess she did okay. Charlie Sheen showed up. That was sort of a surprise appearance. Surprise to most people because it wasn't part of the death montage. But he showed up and kissed some more ass and wished everybody on the crew of 2.5 Men success at making continued great television. Just that statement alone tells me that Charlie is still on drugs. Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones, the dwarf. He won the Emmy for Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. First time ever that the Emmy was taller than the person who actually won it. What else we got here? Nice moment last night. Melissa McCarthy from Mike and Molly winning. And I thought it was brilliant as always that the funny ladies, the women are funny these days. You had Amy Poehler up there and a bunch of other people, and they were really, really funny last night because they all went on stage and they make it look like a beauty pageant. Very, very funny moment last night. Daily Show with Jon Stewart won for Best Variety Music or Comedy Series. Very, very pleased about that. They are at the top of their game over there at The Daily Show. All right, security for Journey has been instructed to be on the lookout for Tarek Salahi. They actually made up a wanted poster and they're putting it all over the place. Nice little kicker to this story too, by the way, because Neil Sean from Journey, who is at the center of this whole thing, along with Mikhail Salahi. Neil Sean just got married 2 months ago. His wife, former Playboy playmate, Ava Fabian. She's not happy about all of this chaos. How about this Floyd Mayweather Jr. Victor Ortiz fight where he sucker punched him and won the whole thing and then tried to pick a fight with the 80-year-old commentator for HBO, Larry Merchant. Oh boy. Fox is talking about creating a channel that shows nothing but The Simpsons. I know a lot of people would be very happy about that. Bridesmaids, speaking of, what's her name from Mike and Molly, Kristen Wiig, that's going to be available on DVD for the first time starting tomorrow. Not as good a movie as you are being told, but it's got a lot of funny scenes in it, and sometimes people are confused by that. You can have a comedy that has lots of really, really funny, memorable scenes. Doesn't make it a good movie. It makes it a movie that has lots of funny, memorable scenes. Big difference between an actual, well-constructed, full-length comedy with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a movie that is sort of like, it's a little disjunct and stuff like that, things that are put in the movie that don't belong, not edited properly, just doesn't leave people exiting the theater with the right feeling. And still have a very funny movie with lots of funny scenes, doesn't mean it's a good movie. And I think Bridesmaids falls under that heading. Many, many years ago, back in 1987, I was supposed to go to work at a Chicago radio station. Came very, very close to taking this job at an FM talk station in Chicago. My partner was somebody who was already with the radio station. You may remember her as the daughter of the presidential candidate for the United States back in the 80s, Walter Mondale, Eleanor Mondale, in what is just a bizarre coincidence. Ted Kennedy's daughter, Kara, and Walter Mondale's daughter, Eleanor, both died of cancer this weekend, 24 hours apart, and each of them was 51. But Eleanor Mondale, I came very close to working with her in Chicago. Eagles may be trying to turn Hotel California into a Broadway musical. Here we go. Bono, what have you started? Monday Night Football tonight. Well, this is that night that we've been talking about now for months, where you got all this stuff tonight. And if you got Uverse, where you can record 4 things at one time, my hat's off to you, because if you don't, I don't know how you're going to keep track of all this stuff. So you got the Giants hosting the Rams on Monday Night Football. You got Dancing with the Stars, 13th season premiere. How I Met Your Mother, 7th season premiere. The Sing Off, 3rd season premiere. 2.5 Men, 9th season premiere with Ashton Kutcher kicking off tonight. You got the Comedy Central roast of Charlie Sheen on Comedy Central, obviously, and the debut of that new show on NBC about the Playboy Club. I'm down to 3 DVRs now because we got rid of one of them. So I got 3 DVRs, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, something's going to have to go. Something you're going to have to tell me about tomorrow. All right, and both Jon Stewart and the Colbert Report will be preempted for that roast of Charlie Sheen tonight. All right. According to AARP, 2 out of 3 late life divorces are initiated by the woman. Random fact here today. You play with that one at the coffee machine, okay? We got birthdays today. Katrina Bowden is 23. She is the blonde chick who plays Tina Fey's assistant on 30 Rock. It was Esquire magazine that in April voted her the sexiest woman alive. She is 23, a little bony and a little blonde for my tastes. I like this Bree Smith, this new weather chick on Channel 5. Holy crap. Okay, it's only 3 days left in summer, 97 days until Christmas. And JC's Eye Candy today, this goofball being interviewed by a television station after a crash he was involved in, and he's making sound effects and going on and on and on, and in the backdrop you can see the woman, or I don't know if it's a woman or a man, still in the overturned car behind him, still trapped in the car. And this guy's just going on and on, having a great old time. And there's a person trapped in the car, still from the accident that he was involved in. Right? You got to see this guy. What a clown! And that's on Eye Candy. It's right below what you're looking at right now. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, September 19th, 2011. Our rock and roll poll question: what about those motorcyclists? Not a, you see these bumper stickers, watch out for start seeing motorcyclists and all this. And then you get guys weaving through traffic in a traffic jam and doing stuff like what happened yesterday. The question is, do you think that is representative of bikers around here, or do you think not? Please answer our rock and roll poll question in the corner. That's it. The Daily Dose for Monday, September 19th, 2011. Combined venture, Mind Active, beautiful downtown Brentwood. Talk to you tomorrow. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.